So a couple of people have contacted me about different situations that are going on in their lives currently that they feel is bringing them a lot of stress and a lot of apprehension and bringing up a lot of their anxiety. And I want to put forward a really simple concept that can be applied to a lot of situations that can give you a sense of peace and peace of mind separate and apart from what's going on in the situation. And most of the situations that are being brought to my attention are by people who feel like they're in conflict, either in conflict with themselves or in conflict with someone else or with a group of someone else's. And so much of our world right now is based around conflict. It's constantly driven into our minds that it's them and us, it's this group against that group. And we do this in our relationships because that becomes a pattern then that seems normal in our lives when it's not. And so when we find ourselves across the table from someone around an idea or a concept, and I'm not talking literally, what we end up doing is we see it as conflict. And so in conflicts, we lob our bombs over the wall and we spew our words over the wall and we spit our venom over the wall. And the person on the other side or the group on the other side is doing the same thing. What if we looked at it, though, as opposed to it being a conflict, what if we looked at it as a contrast? Now, a contrast can be totally opposite. You can be on the totally opposite side of a contrast, but the energy of conflict can be dispelled. And when we have a contrast, we can either accept the other person's view, we can change our view, we can come to some sort of compromise, the other person might change their view, but the energy in which you're engaged in something is totally different when you look at it as, oh, this person has a contrasting view towards mine, and allow that to be okay. It is okay for someone not to think like you, not to believe like you, not to act like you, not to respond like you, not to necessarily need the same outcome as you. But if you do not let go of the concept of conflict where it has to be war and it has to be that is a trauma response where we're running on really super high adrenaline all the time, and it's no wonder that we're exhausted and frustrated and fatigued and wiped out and out of sorts at the end of a day, when every day we're living from this conflict. Changing the simple word and the tone from conflict to contrast and just allowing it to be. Like, you can look at contrasting colors and there is not a right and a wrong. They're just different. And sometimes it's okay to sit in, this is a different belief than what I have. This is a different idea from what I hold. This is a different way of approaching things that I would, but it doesn't have to be a conflict. It's only a conflict if you pour in and dig in that extra energy. That is one of the biggest challenges in our world right now, because we are not taught any longer that it is okay for someone else to think, be, do, have other than we have. And if you want to experience more peace of mind, start thinking in this, changing two simple words. Change your conflict into contrast. Allow your energy, your feelings that are coming up in you, to look at it as contrast as opposed to conflict, and see what a difference it makes for you. I promise you're going to reach the end of your day with much more peace of mind and probably a much more open mind, and you might get a lot of those aha moments. Not necessarily, aha, I need to change to believe what this other person is, but aha, I understand why I feel the way I feel, and I can understand why the other person feels the way I feel, and be okay with that. And that open-mindedness and that curiosity, contrast can work best in conjunction with curiosity, as opposed to, like I said, lobbing bombs over a wall. So I hope you find that helpful today, and enjoy the contrast in your day. It's a beautiful thing. Just like you. Love you. Bye-bye.